Poppin', y'all. This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great, and even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, check this out. A lot of what is currently going on in the world right now had early warning signs, right? But if you are in a state of chaos, mentally, physically, spiritually, you won't even realize what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because truly and honestly, there were signs leading up to this current moment. Probably way back like around 2015, 16, 17, you know what I'm saying? Like the changes in the environment, certain infestations of insects and animals, you know what I'm saying? Changes in the temperature, the weather, you know what I'm saying? Certain things that will align you to knowing scientifically that there's going to be a major change in the ecosystem as far as the elevation of energy, right? But these are scientists that are talking about this. So again, those are rooms that we are not in, right? Once they started to realize that it was getting closer and closer to the elevation of the energy of humans as well, that's when probably the one getting paid the highest looked to the one sitting next to him and said, you know what, it's time. And what they did is they started to round up certain humans that have the ability to see through the finesse of the world, which is basically the control, not related to anybody, but just see through the system that has been moving the world for so long. You know what I'm saying? Humans that were going to be able to control their nervous system, be able to get information leading up to the truth. So the best thing that we can do to be able to fight that is to put these people in energy draining situations. And what we'll do is we'll put them in worst case scenarios with people whose energy is very low vibrational. Uplift that environment so we can still paint the narrative, but make sure that person gets humbled in the process. Make sure they continue to stay depressed. Make sure they continue to stay addicted. So therefore, in that state of mind, they will not be able to awaken to the truth of what's really going on, and their energy will be siphoned by people who are very low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is usually those are a lot of systems that are designed to keep people in a low vibrational state, especially a lot of government systems. People there are very low vibrational oftentimes. That's how they make their money. So say like you put a high vibrational person in that environment and everybody all of a sudden starts to change, that paints a narrative to them that they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. That is the reason why this system is functioning, because it's working in the way that they designed it to work without realizing that oftentimes the people who actually have the true energy are suffering. You know what I'm saying? They're going through hardships. You know what I'm saying? They're put in positions to where they're almost in a situation to where it's easy for people who are low vibrational to take their energy and hard for them to harness their own. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it's intended to do. So why you may see a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, who move freely in the world is because they probably are recognizing and understanding that that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so the ability to be able to see through the veil means they have to constantly come up with attacks to try to damage your nervous system to keep you in a state of distress. So therefore, you will not be able to see the truth and open your mouth and speak about it. You know what I'm saying? So you may think it's just natural circumstances happening to you, but what if those circumstances were orchestrated to put you in, to strip you from them, so that you wouldn't be able to see through the illusion, and you'll be so in a low vibrational state that you'll be forced to put into a box where you're allowed to be controlled because you're a test subject. You know what I'm saying? And the test subject grew out of the conditioning and woke up to who they were, and that was something they were afraid of. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do is use their best defenses against that. You know what I'm saying? By putting you in situations where there are people who are trying to attack you and come at you and try to keep you in a low vibrational state so that you do not believe you are who you truly are, and speak out about things, you know what I'm saying, that really is the truth, but they do everything to deflect onto people that carry a certain energy so they'll never be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Listen. So I've seen it like a ton of examples in my life. I have a very good memory recall. So, you know what I'm saying? I know they be like, oftentimes it's good to not talk about past situations, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So there was this girl, right, that was locked up with us. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I ask people, I'm questioning people around. First, before I get to that, in 2017, it was a lot of first time offenders. You know what I'm saying? That was locked up with me that they probably could have went to jail. You know what I'm saying? And did the time for their crime. But they got sent to prison. That was suspicious to me. And I asked a couple of people. And it was just highly suspicious how all these women were in jail, first time offenders. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to the story about the girl, you feel me, I was locked up with. Hecka cool. Don't get me wrong. She is hecka cool, right? And we vibed on a personal level. But one characteristic about her was the fact that she be running around telling everybody business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then she'll finesse it up about her, but she really ain't like that for real. You know what I'm saying? So the truth in the matter is she had got hired at a job, you know what I'm saying, to work at the desk behind the CO. Basically be like a CO secretary, right? And she worked there for all about, I guess, 2 weeks until she said she stopped working there because everybody thought she was a snitch. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think she even realized how naturally she would have been inclined to do that because of the simple fact you just run your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You sit around and you talk about everybody. And especially if someone is feeding into you and making you feel good, you'll be able to dump everybody's bad things about they do in their life to anybody. So that was the outlet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't recognize that until just right now. But you feel me? The ability to feel like she had to quit because people thought she was going to be a snitch probably had some personal insecurity in herself because you knew that you were the type of person that be running around just talking about anybody's business. So again, knowing and understanding that there were signs that people in high places in rooms we are not able to sit in that saw the signs before we seen them. So once that happened, it was kind of like, okay, listen, I need to set up a plan of attack. And what I need you guys to do is go out into the world and put anybody into controlled environments that have experienced any astral projection, experienced any episodes of, you know, being in between worlds, you know what I'm saying? Any episodes of maybe schizophrenic paranoia, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you experience those scenarios, call the police, you know what I'm saying? Or call somebody of government authority, you know what I'm saying? And put those people in controlled environments because they're having an experience of where they're going to be able to wake up to the truth and we're going to be exposed. So we need to try everything we can to bring them back down to a depressive state. So therefore we can keep, you know, the scenario of what we are doing going on. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you got to think there's 1,000,001 ways and things that you can do to cover that up. And majority of the women that I were locked up with had some sort of substance abuse. So again, you know, it's easy to portray any type of criminal history, background, crime on someone who's indulged in substances because oftentimes they look more susceptible, suspect, you know what I'm saying, than someone who's sober. So the whole system, you feel me, was basically designed so that we target a certain level of people that are going to raise their energy frequency to a certain level to where the manipulation, the finesse, the control, the lying, all that will be exposed because these people will have woken up to who they truly are. So what we have to do is make sure that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And that is how we counterattack that. Because if they do, we risk everything we work hard for. We risk all the secrets we've kept. We risk all the manipulation we've done behind the scenes to control these people, to make them believe in something that wasn't true. It was just for the benefit of us. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of people realize and watch Lion King. The circle of life means, again, it started first. Animals don't speak. So they sense changes in the energy frequency way before we are even aware of what's happening. And we definitely won't be aware of what's happening if we're in a depressive state. We're constantly thinking, overthinking, in substance abuse, distraught, spiritually confused. But the animals sense it first, and they start doing certain changes that makes it become aware to the people that monitor the planet. You know what I'm saying? And the scientists that knew way before we were even having a chance to probably understand at this point was going to come had been studying us for so long. The blood tests, the certain medical illnesses, you know what I'm saying? It was working up until that point, but they just never thought that, they just didn't know when it would arrive, should I say. And so when it did, it's like, listen, we'll lose millions of dollars if these people actually wake up to who they truly are. We will lose Fortune 500 companies that we confuse the people into believing certain things. We're going to risk that if these people wake up to who they are. So try your best to keep them in a depressive state. And what better way to keep a person depressed other than them not knowing, you know what I'm saying, the control of their stability. You know what I'm saying? Them not knowing the ability to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's going to keep a person in a state to where they don't want to live anymore. Or they're going to be so depressed, not realizing the power of their own energy. So the ones that have been targeting you and watching you are going to be clapping behind the scenes when they see you depressed and miserable, because they're going to think that they've won. You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe me, listen, they do not stop. The only way that you can have a chance at ever awaken these people up energetically to taking responsibility and accountability for what they have done is to keep growing in who you are. Do not lay down. Heal. Get control of your nervous system. So therefore, it is exposed to them that shit, the plan didn't work. They're not laying down. They're not going down without a fight. They keep thriving every day. We are almost out of tricks. You know what I'm saying? And it takes the development of the human brain pathways to develop in different ways it takes a while. It's not something that happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? And again, you got to be mindful that there are a lot of people that are aware of how unique you are to the world. And so their whole main mission is to siphon energy from you. So they'll go around looking good. They got everything together. You know what I'm saying? And then you're in this depressive state. Now, again, if the shoe fit, wear it. But this is not everybody. This is just what I experience in certain controlled environments. And again, the reason why they have certain agents tracking you, you'll think they're just regular people, but really they're spying for the people that they're connected to be able to keep the systems in line. And they're trying to figure out, damn, we tried to keep that a secret, but how do they know that? You know what I'm saying? But don't underestimate the ability of recognizing your own power. And it'll trick you into thinking it's abandonment, loneliness, broke. But really, it's the opposite. And the people are hungry to get it because they know the moment you realize who you are, you're going to have everything and they're not going to have nothing. Especially if they don't heal and grow. They've been siphoning your energy all this time to keep you in a stagnant mindset. So you wouldn't believe in yourself and wouldn't trust in yourself. And you really would believe that you're deserving of nothing less. Nothing more, should I say. You know what I'm saying? When really on the other side of that is the ability to understand you are not to be living a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You're destined to be living a different lifestyle. But first, you got to believe in yourself and the power that you hold. And a lot of times that takes separating yourself from energies that you no longer align with. You know what I'm saying? And again, knowing and understanding you helps your body do the magic automatically. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people don't even understand that your energy and who you are is connected to people that oftentimes know, you know what I'm saying, what to do to ward off evil energies that are trying to siphon something from you that you were born to have. You know what I'm saying? And you got to just trust in yourself and believe in yourself and know who you are. And that shuts down that whole programming, because it may not happen in a day. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen the day after that. You know what I'm saying? But over time, the more you reject the energy they're feeding you, the more powerful you get inside yourself, and the more they deplete in who they are. But again, a tactic done by the feds is to make these people think they getting everything out of a certain person. You know what I'm saying? They're operating a certain way until that person pulls back, and then it goes down and quick and fast, and everything is investigated, researched, you know what I'm saying, and brought to a conclusion. But by that time, all the evidence they need is right in their face. Sometimes you got to play a person and make them think they're getting something out of you, you know what I'm saying, so they won't know the difference, and then you pull the rug from under their feet and they expose their true character. You know what I'm saying? And before they try to put stuff together, oh, I'm sorry, it's be too late. You only mad because you got caught. You had no intentions of changing. You know what I'm saying? So again, listen, understand, whatever you going through in life, face the music. Don't let it get you down. It sometimes it be the roughest of the roughest situations, but again, it's just another trick for them to try to get one up over you, so they can feel as if they're moving in the right direction. I've seen corporations, when I got there, running like straight trap houses. Over time, me being there, now they want to fix everything up. They got rules they running by, systems they running by, because they know that that hammer finna come down. You know what I'm saying? But they fail to realize that the only reason why this is happening is because of the simple fact that you have a person with honest energy in your environment. The moment they stop feeding off of your energy and know their own worth, they feel no value of you anymore. But what they fail to realize is that that's the ultimate test, because that's when you're going to have to face the music for real and watch what happens. You know what I'm saying? So again, this was all aligned. Someone knew exactly what was happening on the planet. And they not dumb. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you're so in a distraught place, spiritually, mentally, and physically, you won't even be aware to what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of us are now being attuned into the fact of astral projection. Certain experiences we've experienced that wasn't normal, sleep paralysis, all those things are letting you know that you have a gift. Now you just got to figure out what your gift is. You know what I'm saying? So listening, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.